in now because I was listening to a few chat readers. There's been a theme going on that I've been hearing, and you know, you know how it is if you ever listen to them. But there is some consistency, but of course, there's always going to be other things not as consistent because again, there's millions of Leos on this planet, sun sign Leos. So of course, it is not going to be thoroughly consistent. Uh, Now it's just a lot of stuff up in the air. The main thing is saying the my twin flame wants back in, but she's trying to figure out how to do it. And a lot of people keep saying about Uranus, uh, which Uranus is like I said, I know the Uranus energy because I know my natal chart, but also the female I work with, she's got that Uranus thing going on too. She's like the soulmate, and again she comes and goes, and just the typical stuff. And but they've been kind of saying, well, Michelle Knight said it best. I just happened to end up on. It was funny. I wasn't even looking for her. I usually go to her website, but somehow I ended up on YouTube and it was right there. So she said some stuff too. But Michelle always says you have to be ready. She always tells me that you have to be ready. And last time she was unbelievably precise about it. So, that's a typical, your twin flame wants in and la la la. And a lot of people were for it. Like a lot of people were unbelievably for it. But there were some saying, nah, leave her alone, she's toxic and yada yada yada. And the one that was the most hard hitting one was Quiet Revolution out on YouTube. Because she threw down a nine of swords, and that is definitely my twin's card. And it has been her card for years. And she threw down a nine of swords tarot card, and Quiet Revolution looks a lot like my twin. I think they're the same ethnic background. And Quiet Revolution was like, definitely do not do it. I said, oh shit. So it's one of those things. And a lot of the readings were catching my energy level right now. But y'all gotta understand. See, I'm a little bit different, but I've always been that way. Because even with this whole tarot thing, I'm just built differently. You know? Like I'm not afraid, but that's the way God made me. I'm not afraid to go through the doors of challenge. I'm not afraid to go through the valley of the shadow of death and none of that stuff. But that's because that's how God made me. Because sometimes it's easy to sit back, like little Richard, Richard Simmons. That was a character he played, but he made a lot of money playing it. But because he focused on an audience that would be in need, and then he just provided that need. But that really was a character. And I guess any job you go to, you got to put on some type of you're playing some type of character when you're on a job. But mine's just different. I'm more into the best thing I can tell you. I recently explained to y'all how I was pursuing this female for like 2 years, and she played me out the whole time. Totally played me out. But then our church went down south. Disneyland, Georgia, of course Florida, I just said Disneyland, all over. And somehow she got to go on that. Now this is what happened. This is how the whole thing went. I pursued her for 2 years, and she played me out the whole time. The only reason why she began to take me seriously because I began to take my attention off of her and put her on other females. So then when she saw that, she now she wants the attention back. So I basically said to her, well, you know, I've been trying to be with you. You don't want to be with me, and blah, 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 blah. So then she became determined to be with me. And this is at the exact moment. This is at the exact moment that we're going to Florida. So now I'm in Florida. I'm in all the way down south. And I got a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? She was with me the whole time. It was beautiful. I mean, everything with her, from going on the rides to Disneyland, because Disneyland is great. Like, of course, great, especially way back then. It was just great. So that was definitely, I think, the most romantic experience I ever had with a female was with her. And that was the exact moment at the exact time. But those times don't always come. And like sometimes karma does come, but you get sick of waiting for it. But sometimes when you wait, it does come. That's the whole point of the Wheel of Fortune tarot card. And then, like I said, I tell you all about the female who I just happened to come home one day, and she was just waiting on my bed. And I didn't realize that her feelings for me were real till many years later. And then I knew I had fucked up because I really didn't appreciate her. I didn't even give her a chance. But then later on, I realized she really had feelings for me, but it was too late. I had fucked up. So that taught me a lot too. So I'm a different make in the sense that I don't need to take the easy way out. And that's why a lot of times I hear these reads, what they say about Leo. I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm that heavyweight champ that knows I've been in this fight too long. I've been there long enough to know. And you know, just like Ali. Ali knew when to do the rope-a-dope, and Ali knew when to swing. And that's how he beat the most hardest hitter in boxing history at that time, was George Foreman. He was definitely in the top three. I think he was the hardest. But if he wasn't the hardest hitter at that time, he was definitely in the top three. So that was the Mike Tyson of that day, was George Foreman. And Ali went all the distance with him, but he just did the rope-a-dope the whole time. And all he did was play mind games on George Foreman. And George Foreman just got madder and hit harder. Madder and hit harder. And Ali just stayed rope-a-doping, protecting himself, and acting like the blows didn't hurt. And that was making George Foreman even madder. So it would make him hit harder. And Ali would say, my grandmother hit more. Did you call that a punch? Man, I was punching like that, saying this crazy stuff. You know how Ali was. So Foreman would try to hit harder and harder, but Foreman was using up all his energy. And so it happened. And to me, that was one of the greatest moments, not just in boxing history, but in the history of being on planet Earth. Because you see Ali all covered up, and he's noticing Foreman ain't hitting like he was. And he's noticing that the blows are coming a lot slower, and he could tell Foreman's starting to lose his energy. So Ali looks up from covering himself up. He looks up, and then that's the Ali we knew, the hitter. So now he's jabbing out Foreman, checking out Foreman out, and then he just starts tagging with some combinations and knocked Foreman the fuck out. See, I'm that type of guy. And it doesn't give a fuck what nobody thinks. Or we talk about talking about low views. Who gives a fuck? Nigga, this is YouTube. This is like the land of the idiots. If you want to keep it 100. The land of the weak, needy people that are always going to take the easy way out. Not champions. So I'm more that type of dude. So what I'm interested in, and let me tell you why I'm interested in it. Because I've been hearing about this other female that's coming. And it's no disrespect to my twin at all. But you have to understand the whole dynamics. One thing I've learned being on this planet, because like I'm a Leo, I'm a good guy, and I used to always do that. And even Archangels told me to stop doing it. They were the ones that got me out of doing it, was Archangel, when I got the Archangel cards. Because I was always running to the situation first when they're always helping out. That guy. Even if you go to where I'm working at. If I'm in a great mood, I'm all through that building doing everything. That's just my nature. But I always said I would never be that way in a relationship. I said I don't mind serving the world. I don't mind helping people. But I would never do that in my relationship. It's got to be mutual. That's the one area I expect return. I've always said that. So I can't really deal with a person who's going to be like needy in a relationship, because I won't come home after saving the world. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I still do. That's why I said it's not about numbers, because there's still somebody who's ever listening is benefiting. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on your channel. So they can talk that talk, but the facts don't stand. And God knows. As long as I know it's true, and God knows I can give a fuck less what somebody else is thinking. Because on this planet, you got weak motherfuckers that'll lie about anything. Like I said, not a lot of champions here. The land of the fake. Like the majority of gangster rappers, fake ass punks, never had criminal charges, never did nothing. They get shook up, took out quick. But yet on wax, they're the baddest motherfucker you ever seen in your life. But in real life, that motherfucker ain't saying shit. So, what I'm interested in, why I'm here right now, I just wanted to give the foundation and background like I always do. First, like I said, so with the whole twin flame thing, you have to understand. I understand separation. I understand it's supposed to be a get back together, which may happen at a distant time in the future, if I'm still alive. But I look at life, I look at everything. I study God, I study everything. I study my loyalty to God, I study everything. And then I ask questions. Because if you knew how the game were played, you would understand what I was saying, the game of life. But if you don't have the courage, if you don't have none of that shit, you won't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But when you're constantly being challenged or constantly being asked questions, when you're actually probably one of the most thoroughless motherfuckers out, you have a right to ask questions too. Like I used to work for employers and they thought they had a right to disrespect you and yell because they were employers. But then I decided to say, well, if you got a right to yell at me, why don't I have a right to yell at you? What makes you more important to me? And I have that same policy with everybody. Nobody's above it. But that's why I'm still around. That's why I'm still talking the way I do. And that's why I still do what I do, no matter what. You have to have that confidence. And that's how you get respect. And I always try to teach that out here. Because that's what the book of Job was about. God decided to test Job. And Job was like, yo, what are you doing? How do you call yourself a righteous God? And what you just did? So they went back and forth. And then finally God showed up in Job 38 talking crazy, like talking loud, talking crazy, going into a rant. But by Job 42, Job had all his stuff back. And he was blessed even more than he was before. Why? Because he had confidence in himself and he didn't back down. That's why. And that's in your Bible. So you can't say it's something I'm making up, because if you know how to read your Bible. It's right there. So over here, we don't play games. We understand spirituality. We understand this universe. We understand all that shit. That's all I did was study it to learn it. Because I knew someday I'd have to deal with it. That's why I always deal with bosses. I don't deal with middlemen. I don't deal with punk ass. None of that stupid shit. I find out who's running shit, and that's who I always talk to. And I've always been that way since I was little. And if you deal with weakness, you start to become weak. You can't deal with weakness. You can understand weakness, but you can't always be around weak shit, because you're going to start to become weak. And that's why Job took the tough guy way. He didn't tap out. He went through everything that was thrown on him. Never tapped out. Like, that book is an inspiration for anybody that really wants to know spirituality and why you're really here and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is, I'm not at that level, especially not now, because this whole twin flame thing was a wrench. Somebody threw a wrench in my spokes. You know? I'm minding my own fucking business. And then that came up. And I said, oh, here we go again. You know what I'm saying? I said that way back then. Here we go again. Like I said, on this planet, people are always trying to grab you and put you into some bullshit. Depending on who you are. And I see it wherever you go. It's almost like you can't go to a quiet location and sit. Because somebody's coming over there. If a human ain't coming over there, some type of animal's coming over there, some type of bug's coming over there. But it's almost like you have to be down with this. So that's why when I saw this situation, it wasn't nothing different than I haven't already seen on planet Earth. Like being stalked, that's nothing new. That's always going on. But the problem with the person stalking you, they're not gonna help you. It's not like they're stalking you and you're gonna go, okay, since you're stalking me, let's have a relationship. And they're gonna go, hey, that's a great idea because that's why I'm stalking you, because I really want a relationship with you. It's gonna be some crazy ass shit. And I've been there, done that. It's nothing new. It's just bizarre shit associated. And these are just facts. Like, you can lie about it or run from it. And that's why I said I can't help stupid motherfuckers. Like, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that science because it's just stupid. I'm going to run. I'm just going to keep on lying. But you keep on lying and you think something's going to get better, and it usually doesn't. Even if it looks like it gets better for a little bit, the more you lie, you got to face that truth at some point. That's why you see people jump in relationships and then they're out of relationships. Or you see people cheating on each other and then there's secrecy going on. All this bullshit this planet Earth is known for. So like I said, back then she made the decision to run. She made the decision not to work it out with me because I was always trying to work it out with her between 2014 and 2016. She chose to be the asshole that she was. She chose to jump in bed with that guy. She chose to have all those kids with that guy. But now that's the way it is. So now wherever she goes, whoever she's with, not only do they got to take all those kids that she has, but they got to take the baby's daddies. And there's no guarantee that every one of her kids is the same father. So it might be two baby daddies. So you got to deal with how many kids she got, and the baby daddies, and her. So what type of fucking relationship do you think you're going to have with that? And that's not even going to say that she's even going to be any different than she was in 2014 and 16. Because she may still have them same manipulative traits and all that bullshit she's got that she had back then. And even if she wasn't, even if she was Miss Perfect, you still got the reality of what I just said. See, these are facts. It has nothing to do with holding a grudge or being mad. It has the facts like, man, what the fuck? So you got to know your self-worth. That's why I said you got to know who you are. Ali knew that there was some way or form he could beat Foreman. He didn't know how, but he figured he, come up with something. And he did it. That's a champion. Not taking the easy way out. Lying about everything. Faking it till you make it. And all other bullshit they do on this planet. So, having said all that, so they keep telling me, these readers keep talking about this female is coming. Keep hearing it. And been hearing it. And the reason why it makes sense, because I listened to a read today, and they were saying like Kira's. See, I know my natal chart, and they already said from my natal chart the type of person I would be in a relationship with. And then the woman that did the reading today, she said the same thing. So the night of that full moon that recently passed, like I said, I had to go somewhere, and the plan was to go right up, about 2-3 miles up the street by car and get home. And I left at a time where I thought, even though it would still be kind of crowded on the highway, but it would be nice enough for me to get there in a reasonable time and get home, because I didn't want to be out there in traffic. I don't want to be none of that dumb shit. So I jump out and I see the full moon. The full moon was beautiful that night. Jumped out, but also Vega was out. So like I said, I already explained what happened with the car. But anyway, it was some type of accident, which caused a traffic jam, which caused me to get pissed off and jet through this highway and go into the back neighborhoods and go further up to the other location and get everything taken care of. And then on the way home, it was just me, the full moon, and a beautiful, beautiful scenery, because then there wasn't a lot of cars out there and the streets were newly paved, and it was just beautiful. Like it was like somebody was trying to tell me it's going to be different. It's fresh, it's new, it's beautiful. That was the feeling, that was the vibe. But that night, 2 things were out there. Vega, who I did research on. Vega represents somebody who looks good but can be very manipulative, and not even manipulative. They can be very vindictive, very torturous. And then there was another one closer to the Libra concept, because that's what a full moon really was. Because I checked it out on a black chart. And Libra is all about relationships. But closer to that constellation was an asteroid. The same asteroid that they tell me on my natal chart is, this is the type of person who you would be in a relationship with. Because they're coming to be in a relationship. They're not coming with all that dumbass shit. Little girl shit. Stupid shit. That grown men don't want to deal with. See, a grown man, he don't care how fucking good you look. I don't want the fucking drama. And that's why the other man fucked her and left her. And I knew that was going to happen from the moment she said, oh, bad, told me about him. And I ain't say nothing to her, but I said to myself, all he's going to do is fuck the shit out of you and then leave you. You're giving him everything. You're giving him all this milk. You're moving in his spot. You're giving this man all this authority. He's going to fuck the shit out of you and he's going to leave you. And that's what he did. So even there's been some kind of confirmations with it. But like I'm saying, I'm just trained to do what I do. And all I can give you is, like when they asked Ghostface, was Capadonna really a good rhymer or whatever? Was he a master of his craft? Ghostface said, go listen to Winter Wars by Wu-Tang. And when you listen to that song, you hands down, Capadonna was a battle MC. He definitely should have been in the Wu-Tang. So the same thing I'm telling you, if you said, what proved, give me one fight of Ali that proved he really was a champion. You say that shit with Foreman, because Foreman was trying his best to destroy that man. And Ali just outsmarted him and just waited and knocked him out. How many people knocked out George Foreman? Not a lot. Probably others did knock him out, but not a whole lot of people knocked out George Foreman that I know of. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So that's why I gave you the whole pedigree, everything. For real niggas, like not for no bitch ass they say something stupid. No matter what you say, they're gonna say something dumb because they're on the internet and they can talk shit and not get punched in the face. Like this for Coward City. Like if you take community, COM, but if you take the COW, coward and shit, just take the M and turn it upside down and shit. And that's what they like Suge Knight, turn a motherfucker upside down over a building and shit. Bitch ass niggas. Fake ass history. Oh, I'm a rapper. Fake ass. Vanilla ice melting and shit. Corny ass motherfucker. Alright, so anyway. So let me get on with this. So now, like I said, you got to get somebody that's a little bit more stable, a little bit more mature, and they gotta already realize what's up, and they gotta like want it, just like you want it, because that's the only way that's gonna work. You can't be pulling somebody and they be like, well, they want conditions, like they want you to love them conditionally, but they want you to love them unconditionally, but they loving you based on conditions. So these are crazy ass people that you be a fool to fuck around with. Now, when you're younger, you can take chances and take mistakes. Or when you're younger, you just thinking with the wrong head. You just think it's sexual. But when you get older, all that shit matters. So what I decided to do is, do this person really exist? Because I keep hearing about it, and people keep saying like a lot of shit's still gonna happen in May for Leo. Like they're saying you might even hear from your twin through a text message or some type of shit. Or this other person gonna come up. But they're saying it's kind of be like a Uranus unexpected type of situation. So sometimes you gotta rely on yourself, even if, because you won't sell yourself out unless you don't got no backbone. Some people will even sell themselves out because they ain't got no backbone. But one thing, dudes like me, we've been all over the place. And I understand what everybody's saying, but like I said, we just got to keep it 100, bottom line. Like if you got that faithful taxi cab driver, like he's just a faithful cab driver, you'd be better off going with him than going with somebody who you just don't know. Even if the other guy, maybe he's a better driver, maybe he knows the areas better, maybe his car is better, and he got a modern music system in the car, and maybe he's really fun and sociable, and everybody loves him, and who the hell knows? But still, he just don't got that character, that heart, that integrity of that other guy. And it's just something about sitting around somebody that's got some common sense and a little bit of integrity that, depending on who you are. So that's what I'd rather go with. You just go with whatever. So what I'm going to do to see if there's anything on this person for the month of May is do my 6-card tarot. Because they're pretty thorough. And see what comes up. And like I said, there is a chance, regardless of whatever comes up with the 6-card tarot read, that this person might pop up or may not pop up. All right. So what I'm doing now is going to that location. See, there you go again. I keep seeing Vega. Now Ruby Tuesdays just sent me a ad to my, do you want to win a trip to Vegas? So they keep talking about that Vegas. All right. So here we are. We're at the location. The deck has been shuffled once. Well, I keep seeing a number 6. So let's do this. I'm gonna say it maybe 2 times at least before I shuffle. Please inform me of the rest of 2019. Yeah, that's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say was, please inform me of the remaining of May 2019. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4, 5, 6. All right, now you try 6 cards. It's amazing. My mouse was already on this card, so of course I want to pick it. And this will be the first card you'll hear from. My mouse, that's the first time that's ever happened. The freaking mouse was right on this card to pick it. Card number 1 picked. Card number 2 picked. Card number 3 picked. Card number 4 picked. Card number 5 picked. Card number 6 picked. So here's the situation. The card I picked, I'm assuming this is going to be the first one y'all see or hear from, rather. But let's just hope that's the way it is. Again, please inform me of the remaining of May 2019. And again, how do you feel about yourself? It's the Justice card. But what I'm trying to tell y'all, that's Libra energy. Now, what y'all have to understand, that's a strong presence on my natal. In fact, Mars is in Libra on my natal chart in the 5th house, which is Leo. But right now, Mars is in Gemini, which is the twins. Or close to it. And Libra is the twins too, because it's the 2 scales. Now, again, like I said, you say, well, does it mean you're twin flame? Like, at this point, to be honest, I don't know. But this Justice card has been showing up a lot. How do you feel about yourself, Justice? You're feeling that things will go your way. You believe in fairness and justice in all things. And that's what I just got finished telling y'all. I just laid out the whole thing of how things really go. Because anybody can be a coward. Anybody can be a liar. Anybody can make up their own history. Anybody can go from person to person. Anybody can be with somebody and cheat on somebody else and act like they're not cheating. This is the type of low-level bullshit you get out here in the real world, but also on the internet as well. I'm not talking about that crappy shit. I'm talking about real shit. My shit always been real. So you believe in fairness and justice in all things. And that again would be the Wheel of Fortune card, which would be, that's also Jupiter energy. And Jupiter is JU, justice is JU. If you are considering partnership issues, professional or personal dealings will go well. Oh, so they're kind of confirming what the other people said. Perhaps you're about to sign a contract or a legal agreement. This will be beneficial to you. If someone has done you wrong, it will be put right and you will feel justice has been done. Now, that can go any type of way, because who did me more wronger than my twin? So that was interesting. And remember, that's where the moon was at. The real moon was in Libra that day. We checked it out, went online, went to the right website, checked it out, and that's exactly where it was. And that's Libra energy. What do you want right now? And the next card is a Strength card, and that is the woman and the man together. The lion being the man, but remember, I'm a Leo, so that would be the lion and the woman. Now, I think I want to save these cards too, so. Give me a moment. I gotta move a few things around. What do you want most right now? The Strength card. The card suggests that what you want most at this time is to find the strength and willpower to see you through and achieve what you want. It is important to come from a place of love and tolerance, though, not aggression. Put your fears to rest and develop a positive attitude, and you'll reap richer rewards. And like I said, a lot of times I hear this, but I'm going to tell you the truth. When I first started where I work at, it was a female that worked there. Me and her were cool from day one. Like, we was really cool. I was way more, just everything. Touchy, feely, talk to her, shit like that. So, and like I said, if things had been different, it might have even been something between me and her. So, like I said, I always hear a situation where, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you have to learn to be, and blah blah blah. But a lot of times it's not. I gotta learn to do a whole lot of shit. I've been doing shit all the time. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you was to go back to 2014 and 2015, if you knew how many times I went up to her to work things out with her, so it wasn't so much I needed to do this and no. I mean, we both had issues. I'm not saying we didn't have issues, but I went out of my way to get past that. She was the asshole. So that's why I keep trying to tell y'all, I'm not going to get mind fucked. Shit's either going to work or it's not going to work. And all this other shit out here, it don't mean shit. Because you're not dealing with people that are mature enough to handle shit. That's why they run. When you talk about a real relationship, that's a person that's not going to run away from it. They're going to try to make their relationship work. That's called a mature adult. And if you're over 20, hate to hit you, but if you're over 20 and going up that age scale, you're supposed to be an adult, not running from shit. Oh, I want to go here because they talk to me like I'm a child. So that's where we're at now. It's a lot of immature motherfuckers, but everybody's not immature. Some people can deal with it. A relationship is not going to be happy every day. A relationship can be just as much hard work as going to a job. So that's why I said I don't accept that bullshit about, oh, you got to do this and you got to tone it down and you got to no. All I really got to do is be honest and be real, like I've always been. You just got to find people that are mature enough to deal with that energy, and a lot of people ain't. But I don't got time to babysit motherfuckers, and I refuse to come home babysitting some motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I do that wherever I go. Wherever I go, I'm always taking the lead and helping somebody somewhere. So I'm not gonna come home and do the same shit. It's got to be more mutual. Otherwise, I'd rather come home alone because I don't want to come home and do the same shit I do when I go out the door. Your fear is a death card. All right, let me just do this. And that's card number 3. All right, let me go back and get card number 2. Your fear is death card, card number 3. You're afraid of experiencing turbulence and catastrophic change, as well as we all are. Yet such challenging transformations in our lives help create space for something new. If you're experiencing or have just experienced a job loss, a bereavement, divorce, or the end of a relationship, these changes will allow new experiences and opportunities to enter your life. Alright, so let me get this. And that's Scorpio. See, I think like I said, I think her energy is Scorpio. And again, it's not as much fear as you just don't want to deal with it. If you want to call that fear, you just don't want to deal with the crazy shit. What's going for you? And they say Uranus. There it is, the Fool card, Uranus. And that's what everybody's talking about. And that is also on my natal chart. Because even when I first saw it, now keep in mind, when I first was reading my natal chart, and I went to Terry Nassan, and Terry Nassan said that where my Uranus is on my chart, she said that's your soulmate. She said where that Uranus is your soulmate. And what happens is the Uranus energy opens you up to new consciousness so that you can be transformed. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. This is what people don't get. And this is what you see out on YouTube. They idolize it. They idolize the person. They idolize twin flames. They idolize it. And because they put so much energy into it, that's what pushes it away. I just gave you the book of Job. The reason why everything worked out in Job's favor, because he didn't idolize it. He was confident in himself. He made the universe bow down. The universe came to him. If you don't understand the book of Job, the universe came to him. And through all that, Job got everything back that was stolen from him, but only better. This is why David said, yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. God's not going to respect you. The universe ain't going to respect you if you're out here idolizing, worried about everything. So that's what is going for you, that Uranus energy, that out of nowhere, this person may have a high Uranus on their natal chart, or they have that Uranus out of nowhere. This is an exciting time with lots of potential for fun and wonderful experiences. Your confidence should be high, and if you're listening, you can tell that it is. It's a great time for new possibilities. If you're considering leaving your job, home, or relationship, at some point you will. An unexpected desire will be fulfilled even before you express it. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. If you knew how many times some female just came out of nowhere and just demonstrated loyalty, because they had already thought about the situation, they already realized they wanted it, and they just started doing it. It's not all this crazy shit, all this worrying and wondering and all this stupid shit you see out here. That should tell you something right there. You wouldn't buy no car. Oh shit, is it gonna work? Oh, let me get a reading. Let me get a reading to see if the car's gonna work and shit. You wouldn't buy no car or no crazy ass shit like that. So people just get stupid when it comes to matters of the heart. They just get real dumb. And they mad because somebody like me tell them the truth. But there's a difference between a champion and some bullshit. And that's a fact. Like, I'm sorry it's that way. Don't get mad at me. You should get mad at yourself. If you're that low type of person, get mad at yourself. Don't get mad at me. I ain't do nothing to you. You did it to yourself. So they're confirming the Libra energy that I saw. And they're also confirming the Uranus that all the readers are saying that's going to happen. And that's card number 4 with the sun raising up over that mountain or something. Big time. And let's go back to the strength card and see if the sun was in that. See, with the death card, you got the moon, but that's Scorpio. And with the strength card, you don't see the sun necessarily, but you see its rays. You see its rays, but you don't see the sun. And like the Justice card is sitting just like the High Priestess. And then she got a sword. Because if you go to my other channel right now, if you go to this channel right now, you're going to see I got a picture of the sword and the Messiah. Because what she got like is like a smaller sword, but you could call it's bigger than a dagger, but it's a sword. And she got on a crown just like the king and the scales. Because that's what that lady said. That tarot reader said you about to meet somebody and it's gonna come straight from God. She said that. Now what I'm gonna try to do, because I don't know if I saved her, I'm gonna look at this real quick. Because if I saved her, I'm gonna throw her back up in his whatever. Yep, she's called Soul Source Tarot. I think that's the one that said it. I'm gonna put this on pause. I'll be right back. Yes, yeah, so you're gonna see the 6-card tarot, but then you're gonna see her. That's the one that told me that this person coming is from God, and that's what you're seeing with that Libra card. It looks exactly like, as far as the crown, as far as that's the kings and the sword and all that. So so that's what I'm trying to tell you. And that female that worked at my job, she don't work there no more. This was a totally different female. Because I could have easily been with her, but I knew I was there. See, from the moment I walked up in that job, I knew about my soulmate. Because I've been getting all kind of dreams and all kind of just strange shit going. And my soulmate that worked at that job, the new one, the one I'm at now, not the one with my twin flame, she knew too. To this day, she knows. But she'll still come back there. She still comes back to that job to do paperwork. But she doesn't work there no more. But because she was so good, they still treat her like she's one of the crew. But technically, she's no longer employed by that company. But I still saw her looking at me one other day. And one day when she first came back, she actually came in the back where I was. But I was talking to people, so she tried to fake it like she came back there for a different reason. But nah, I knew why she came back there. But at the same time, like I said, I'm not trying to kick it with her because her boyfriend works there, and he's a good friend of mine. So I'm not trying to get caught up in all that silly shit. That's why I be talking about, it's just too much silly shit on this planet. It's like every move is to fuck you. Like almost everything you do, you got to sell your soul for it. I just sit back and watch. But that's why I said it's like the book of Job. Because you don't realize everything you're doing is being recorded. And that's why we trying to tell all these low frequency, low people, everything you're doing is being recorded and you're going to be judged by it. So that's why you should have some backbone and some character. So all I'm trying to tell y'all is, I'm not saying the world's going to be perfect, but I am saying you shouldn't have to go into a relationship that's fucked up from day one. Why the hell would I voluntarily get into a relationship that's fucked up from day one? I can be miserable by myself. I don't need to bring somebody else in. So that's all I'm telling you. Anybody that's going to get my attention, they're going to have to bring something to the table. Because I'm always bringing shit to the table. So I'm not looking for a lady who's looking for a Mr. Right and all that bullshit. Her knight in shining armor and shit. That wouldn't be me. I'm not gonna take off my coat so you can walk over the puddle. Bring an umbrella, nigga. What the fuck I look like to you? Like I said, that might happen later on in life when you prove you worth that. But who the hell are you? My experience on this planet has been that'd be the biggest mistake you can make. That's why if you notice, them females be all over the thugs and the dudes that treat them like garbage. But the nice guys, they treat like shit. I'm not saying every single one of them does it, but you've seen enough to know that. So you would be a fool to keep pursuing that energy when all you're going to keep getting back is disrespected. So I'm not going to be mean to nobody, but I'm not going to be so nice that I'm not, I don't do that no more. And like I said, if people don't understand what I'm saying, I can't help you. It's something I've been through. I don't know, maybe you just ain't been through it or you in fantasy land. I don't know what the situation is. Can't worry about it because it's not my life. All right? So what's going for you? So these cards are confirming what those tarot cards were saying about this person. Now what's going against you is what? The Judgment card. But again, that's Pluto energy. So they keep talking about allowing fear. But what y'all not understanding, I explained that in the beginning, it's not always fear. It's a logical decision you made based on being on this planet for decades, studying human nature, based on just the spirit running this planet, based on a lot of shit. It's not fear. Like I'm trying to tell you, a lion will fuck your ass up. But a lion is also smart enough to say, well, is this a win situation or a lose situation? Why the fuck am I going to dive into a situation where I ain't going to win it? I'm not stupid. What is going against you? Judgment. If you allow fear to stop you from taking a chance or a new possibility, then you will lose out. Don't ignore the new opportunities being presented to you. A decision, a new job, or a relationship to change your life for the better. Do not refuse change when change is at the time is vital. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Outcomes may be delayed. However, this is a time for positive action and not passiveness. And again, to me, that sounds like they kind of, see, I told you judgment and injustice. So it seems like they are talking about the twin, possibly. But I'm just letting y'all know. But everybody says that the energy that's coming is more like an earthy energy. See, my twin is more like a fiery sign. But we'll see. And let me see, did I copy this card? All right, final card. The likely outcome is temperance, and I always told you the temperance card is the two twins coming together. I've always taught that. That's Sagittarius energy. A period of peace and harmony. Life will flow, and you will find a way of handling any difficult circumstance with calm confidence. This is also a time for patience, so if you're not sure quite what decision to make about any key issue, take your time. You'll know what to do when the time is right. All right. So to sum it all up, tarot card readers are right. There is something better for you coming, possibly from God. Yet there are still innuendos that your twin flame is still around, or may even be this person. Seek wisdom to know how to act. I'm out.